and Nick, but you know them better as the Jonas Brothers. Thank you very much, guys, for being here.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
I'm glad you're here. Okay, I want to ask you a very important question. How do you like Gateway Church?
We love it.
It's wonderful. It's great that it's right there, right in our town. It's 5 minutes away, and everyone's there is just so loving and caring, and church is family, and to have the family aspect in the church is really wonderful. The pastor's pretty good too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you like the pastor?
He's good.
I've heard he's really good.
Yeah, no, he definitely does a good job. It's amazing how when we walked into Gateway for the first time, we felt like we could be ourselves and worship in a place that we felt comfortable. And sometimes, we don't want to feel distracted from what we really just want to pour our hearts into. And Gateway really allowed us to do that. And from the music and from the excellence of the video programs to the pastor and from the youth group there, and everything that's going on is truly phenomenal. And every time I pass now on the highway on 114, the new church being built, I can't wait to see it and can't wait to get there.
Looks like a basketball stadium.
It literally, I drive past and I'm just like, this is going to be the greatest place ever. I can't wait.
Okay, now, the Jonas Brothers is the name of the group, but you guys are actually brothers.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
We got that question so much growing when we first started as a band. They're like, so you're really brothers?
Yeah.
When we were first coming up with a band name, first concert we ever had, our name was different at the time. The record label we were with at the time wanted our name to be Jonas 3, and we weren't having it. And so we got on stage in the first concert we ever had, and we got on stage and I said, hey, we're the Jonas Brothers. And so we kind of kept it.
Well, over 8 million albums sold, Grammy nomination, singing with Stevie Wonder, which I think meant a lot to you from what I've heard.
Yes.
Visits to the White House and movies and your own television show. What's it like? Is it what you thought it would be like?
I don't think you can ever really fully imagine what it would be like because there are new opportunities that come up, like performing at the White House, that you think one day I can maybe take a tour of the White House, but you never expect to actually be able to perform there multiple times and, be able to see, multiple administrations. It's incredible. And I think for us, each and every day is a new and fun experience. And I think that's what really, we enjoy so much because it never gets old.
I think you guys just do a phenomenal job. And
Thank you.
I've told you that. And you're very, very talented. Obviously, God gives us talent, but skill is something we develop. So, very honest question. You ever had a fight?
Yeah, I think we went through a season where right as we were starting, there was more fights than there are now. I think we got to a certain point where we realized there's no point in this. With guys, it's a lot different than it is with girls, just from our friends that we've seen who are girls that fight with their siblings. It's like, the girls get into it, and it doesn't just end. It is a long process. And for guys, you kind of get mad at each other about something, and then it's over.
You keep going, talking about something different.
You talk about something different.
Yeah.
So we just let it go. Let it roll right off our shoulders.
Good thing it's not the Jonas Sisters. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. There's a reason my dad and my mom had 4 boys. Yeah.
That would have been over years ago.
Yeah. Okay. What is something that most people don't know about you?
Wow.
Of course, most people know a lot about you. I know that. But is there something that most people don't know?
We're extremely competitive when it comes to sports and things like that. When it comes to each other, I think that's one way.
They're extremely competitive.
I guess. Me and Nick really kind of go
Toss
at
in the
it.
middle.
Whether it's to answer the question beforehand. Really, that's pretty much the only time we really let off steam towards each other is in a competitive sense. Whether it's on the golf course or bowling alley like last night and where I won.
No, that's not competitive, is it?
Exactly. I wasn't even coming at him.
So I think we have a rematch in the making.
I think so. I've been bowling the past 4 nights in a row. I don't know, something about it is just like a good way to spend time.
All of our arms are hurting so much.
Yeah, my lower back.
Pain.
I was doing 4 lanes at once last night and hopping over it was don't do that.
I had 2 going.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Too much.
Well, we've been joking around, but I know everyone has rough spots. Everyone. Even you guys, and some people might be surprised to hear that, but everyone does. How do you get through the rough spots?
I think surrounding yourself with good people and kind of remembering where you came from, knowing that this couldn't always last forever. And And when those tough times do come, we do have each other to rely on, and great parents and things like that, and great friends. But I think for us, being who we are and staying who we are is the most important for us, because our dad always kind of says this one thing. He says, live like you're at the bottom even if you're at the top. And he said that when we started, and we kind of live by that rule. And in the beginning it was something that we would aspire to. Now it's something that we just live by. And it's kind of been like that for the past 6 years.
You know, it's one thing I really respect about you guys is your character. And I told you that the first time I ever met you. I told you I love you and I respect you and I'm very proud of you. And I really am. And I mean that.
Thank you.
But you've probably taken some heat for your beliefs and your principles. How do you walk through that?
Well, I think that, you know, it says it right there on the Word of God that we will face those moments in our walk. And to the world, it could appear that at times it's frustrating for us. But I think when we see it, you got to let it roll right off your shoulders and know that, you know, you just have to be who you are and live that life that, you know, you hope is honoring to the Lord. And that's all we're trying to do. And it is very tough at times. And we face the same temptation that people face, but it just got to take it as it comes and pray the Lord will help you through it.
You know, you talk about your relationship with the Lord, and I know you grew up in a Christian home, but you guys know as well as I do that every person has to commit his life to Christ. So how did that happen for you?
I think growing up, you know, we really did have that great understanding of what it meant and to have a personal relationship with Jesus. And I think for us, it really came down to an everyday basis. And it's not just routine where it becomes bland either. It was heartfelt. And I think that's what our parents really want us to know and believe and feel, is that we could have our own relationships with God and not have to feel like it's someone else's. And I think that's what really came down to us and why we can, in our own individual lives, carry that out.
You know, with your busy schedules, I know you have very, very busy schedules. How do you keep your relationship with the Lord fresh?
You know, every individual person has their own way of expressing their love and appreciation for all that God's done for them, their own way of worshiping. And for us, we look at our performance as our worship and our praise of the Lord. So even if it's not, you know, your typical worship song or prayer meeting with friends, if we get up on that stage and we're giving our heart and our soul into our performance and our passion and the gift that God's given us, and that's our way of worshiping. And
I think also, you know, taking time when we're on tour, we have Bible studies, and it's a great thing to be able to pray before every show with everyone, believers to non-believers. That it's just everyone kind of gets together, and it's just a great way for us to be able to just thank the Lord for all we have every day.
Well, God has given every one of us gifts, and He really does want us to use those gifts to the fullest. Well, we love you guys very much. Again, I want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. Here is the question that I want to ask you, that we're in this series called One Thing, and with all of the fame and the success that you've had, what is the one thing that you cannot live without?
I was speaking to my friend about this same thing today, and we were talking about it, and just kind of saying, you know, it's almost that question. You're like, why me? I tell my friends, you're writing your own autobiography, and why not make it great? And I think it's really cool that we're able to live this life, and, you know, God gave us this opportunity, so we want to make it great for Him.
I think that personal relationship with the one who gives us all that we have, and knowing that there's no other faith in the world where you can have that one-to-one connection, and that He can help you through the tough moments and be there with you in the great moments, and you know that He's there for you. It's the best.
I agree with Nick, and I think for us, the way that we feel the presence of God every single time we get onto that stage, and in everything we do, we see His hand on us. And, you know, it says where one or two are gathered, but there's three of us everywhere we go, so it kind of works out in our favor. And it's an amazing thing to have Him on your side when you are going into places in pieces of the world that are not very accepting to that. And it's amazing what kind of doors He can open up.
Thanks for joining us for our service. Whether you